periscopes are like
Here we are
10 times.
with Dougie Fischer. Wait, oh, Dougie's wearing the Triple G.
No, man. Yeah,
and so is Doug. And so is Coach Dave. And so is JP.
Representing.
And I got the training shirt on. I don't know if you can see me, but
hey, that's a collector's.
I don't want to get you
man.
fired, Doug. I know you're bipartisan. You have a Golden Boy logo on there too.
No. It's the I am box.
Okay, all right.
See? It's nice, right? It's a nice hoodie.
Those were nice jackets. Yep.
Yeah.
Those are nice jackets. But I know who you thought won the fight.
I did. Listen, I scored
on that side over there.
Live at T-Mobile Arena during the online pay-per-view broadcast. I scored it 115-113 for Gennady Golovkin. I just thought he was the more consistent fighter, offensively speaking. I thought his defense was good. I thought Canelo fought the fight of his life. It was a good performance from Canelo. I didn't think he did enough to win that fight. Watching the replay, I scored it 8-4 or 116-112 for Gennady Golovkin. Kevin Kelly, the Flash, the former WBC featherweight champ, he scored it 9-3 live at the fight for Gennady Golovkin, and I could understand that card. I figured it was somewhere between 7-5 or 9-3 for Gennady Golovkin. To me, he was the guy making the fight.
Yeah, depending on how many of the close rounds you gave.
But props to Canelo. I thought that he would go the distance. Remember that? I said
you did say that.
The kid is tough enough.
Yeah.
He's experienced enough, savvy enough, and skilled enough to go 12 with Gennady Golovkin. And I knew that Team Triple G would be sweating bullets after that fight because it was going to be a competitive fight and it was a good fight. But the wrong, I don't want to say the wrong man.
When I heard the first card, I said, oh, I don't know if Gennady won 10 rounds.
But Adelaide Bird, she's one-sided. Usually she's going to be one-sided for the house fighter. Listen, it was a draw. So to me, it wasn't as bad as a robbery as we've seen in other recent big fights because Gennady got to keep his belts. And I really think that his stature is bigger than it ever has been internationally, but particularly in the United States. I saw a lot of Triple G gear the week of the fight.
We sold out of Jordan gear twice. In fact, someone just asked if they're going to restock it.
That didn't surprise me.
And they made the most they ever did for boxing, and they sold out
But I've seen more Triple G hats and T-shirts after the fight than I've ever seen, and I saw a lot of folks who went into that arena rocking the Canelo gear. After the fight, they
bought the Triple G.
I swear to God, the day after. Okay, so Sunday at the MGM Grand, catching my cab to get to the airport, I'm seeing the same people I saw all fight week who were rocking the Canelo gear. They're rocking the Triple G.
I saw someone walking around the casino. He had a TMT shirt on and a Triple G hat. That seems like a little.
Hey, there you go. That tells you something right there.
He's winning over a lot of fans. I want to show everyone the beautiful sunny Southern California day here in Santa Monica. JP, what did you think? You're a betting expert. What did you think of the fight?
I've had a week now to my anger to subside, but rounds 2, I was upset. I had to call Dave immediately leaving the arena. But rounds 2, 3, 10, and 12 for Canelo. All the rest
8-4. That's how I had it scored. I had it scored
8-4. I watched it 3 times.
And Harold Letterman had it 8-4 also. So it seemed to be pretty much the.
If you want to argue at the very most to give Canelo round 1 as well, that's 7-5. I don't think so. I think Gennady won 1, and I think he also obviously won round 7, which Trella messed up on, and I believe he won round 11, which was also a big swing round. So 1, 7, and 11 decided the fight for me, and I thought they were all Triple G rounds. 8-4.
That's how you come to 8-4. And Coach Dave, the most emotional one on the track here. What did you think?
Wait, I'm the most emotional.
Wait, no, actually, JP. After JP,
Dave calmed me down.
No, it's not even close.
But the good thing is you got your money back on in the UK. I didn't realize the UK. They don't give you your money back.
Costa
on the
Rica and Vegas are going to refund. I'm going to fly up and get it, and then on to the next one. We had a great number on Triple G though.
Dave, what did you think?
Going in, I've never
not
been
most emotional, most passionate. How about that?
That's
I've never been a Canelo lover.
He was a Canelo hater going into
this wasn't a hater, not a lover.
He was a hater.
But you got to hand it to Canelo. He had a great game plan. He pulled it off. He was disciplined. He fought a great fight. But I thought Triple G won either 8-4 or 9-3. When I was there watching the fight with the crowd noise and everything, I thought it was closer. I don't know how Trella voted that round for Alvarez, but it was.
That seemed to be one of the clearest rounds for Triple G. That one's a little bit What do you think, Doug? That was a little bit.
Listen, after round 7, I thought Coach's prediction was going to come true. I was like, okay, this is a pattern here.
He was definitely
Canelo's
taking over.
getting weaker.
Yeah.
He's running out of ideas. He looks
It was a
stressed
pressure.
out.
It was a pressure.
I was like, listen, over the next 2 rounds, Gennady's going to physically break him down and then take him out in the 10th round. And he did what he needed to do. And props to Canelo's corner. At the start of the 10th round, he came out hard and earned some respect. And I was thinking to myself, with that first minute of the 10th round, that's how he earns the way, or paves the way, to take Gennady Golovkin 12 rounds. He had to do that. He had to do something to stem that tide. But after the 7th round, I was thinking, you know what? Coach's prediction is going to come true. This guy's going to get knocked out in the 10th round. Like first, what did you say?
No,
a minute and 20 seconds into the 10th.
Yeah, but I thought he was going to hurt him in the 9th, which he did.
Yeah.
And I thought he was setting up, and then I thought, wow, that's the round.
Yeah.
But Canelo did fight a really good fight for him.
You got to give Canelo credit for going 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated just had Gennady the 12th most fit athlete out of any sport. So, you know, going 12 hard rounds against a guy who's
at his athletic
8
peak.
years younger.
Yes.
At his athletic peak.
A 35-year-old man, a 35-year-old athlete who's been on the grind for years and has had a busy schedule and some tough fights recently, he outworks the 27-year-old fighter. And he did the same thing with Danny Jacobs, who just turned 30. So guys, peak athletes, elite level talents, experienced guys like Alvarez, who are young and in their prime, Golovkin is out-jabbing and outworking them.
What did you think about the atmosphere, Dave? What did you think about the event itself?
The event was incredibly great. That arena, it was the first time there. Really, was perfect.
It was a lot of energy. It almost was like a soccer stadium in there.
We were
right?
out there for the weigh-in. It was incredible.
Over 9,000 people at the
weigh-in.
weigh-in.
Did not have a seat empty, and they gave out tickets to get in, and they ran out of them.
Ran out of tickets.
Yeah.
We sold out, and we weren't even selling them. We ran out of tickets.
No one could get in. They stopped at about, I'd say, 20 minutes before they came on the scale. The place was rocking. It was incredible. The whole week was incredible. We stopped by Nike Town. Dave and I went to Nike Town.
Oh yeah, they had. So did you find some Jordan gear there?
Yeah, we went. We got the Jordan gear, and then they said we're going to get the hats the next morning. We go back the next morning, and the guy says they sold out in 45 minutes. They're already gone. Wow. So it was a big stand. On when did we get there? You got there on Friday, and then on Saturday morning, gone.
One of the guys on Fresco Basket, they're going to make more Jordan gear, and they haven't had such a reaction for a boxer ever. So they're definitely going to make some more gear. I don't know when it's going to be restocked, but it should be within the next couple of weeks. They're going to expand the module. The UK fans, all the European fans were upset they couldn't order it.
Yeah.
You can imagine the fans in Kazakhstan were definitely working on getting some of the Triple G Jordan gear for Kazakhstan.
It was great meeting all the people from Kazakhstan that came out for that fight. They were great.
Gennady brings guys in from fans in from all over the world. So it was a great event. I got to
Tom,
give.
Is the merchandise a significant source of revenue for Triple G Promotions?
Definitely. He broke the record for merchandise at the Garden for any boxing event in their history, and also at the Forum, and also at StubHub. We actually sold Triple G merchandise at the Superfly show, and we broke the merchandise record at StubHub for Triple G for just boxing.
How does that work
event.
out? Do you got to give obviously a piece of the revenue goes to the venue where it's being sold? Is that how
definitely
it works out?
a piece goes to the venue, but even so, it still generates a significant amount. And if Jordan releases it on a worldwide basis, it's really going to be in big demand. So.
Now, Tom, on Thursday after the Jorge Linares Luke Campbell press conference, Eric Gomez, the president of Golden Boy Promotions, sat down with Steve Kim and I for a live Between the Ropes show, and I asked him if Golden Boy was interested in doing an immediate rematch, and he said that he is.
You gonna interview me now?
Yeah, well, he said that he is.
I've got to take off this.
Now it's getting hot.
No, it's really hot out here.
What do you got, Coach?
Negotiation heating up.
Here, I got it.
Well, he said that you guys were going to talk.
Coach Schwartz is starting a negotiation.
Here we go. Yeah. We got to give the fans what they want. The Superfly show was great. We had over 12 million households tuned in Mexico for that. It was on TV Azteca and television. So that was Superfly, and that was a great.
Well, there was an all-Mexican battle, and one of the fights of the year between Juan Estrada and Carlos Cuadras.
Yeah. So that was a perfect prelude to the Triple G Canelo fight, and I got to give Golden Boy credit that working with Eric Gomez it was a great co-promotion, I thought. It's unfortunate that the scoring has kind of overshadowed the event. Instead of the fans talking about, this was a great event, this was the best energy we've ever seen at T-Mobile, completely sold out. There wasn't a seat in the house. It was sold out after, like 3 weeks.
And the live gate is one of the biggest.
It was the third biggest in
state
boxing
history.
Yeah.
The third, so it's behind like what, Mayweather-Pacquiao and Mayweather-McGregor?
Those are the two biggest.
Wow.
So that was.
So in terms of an actual real fight, though, it's number one. but so
it was the most entertaining fight.
I asked Gomez. I said, "Hey, what's the relationship like with you and Tom Loeffler?" And he said, "It's excellent. That you're one of the best people that they work with. That you have a really good relationship. They want it to be a long-term relationship." And I asked about the negotiations for the rematch. He said, they are interested in doing the immediate rematch, and it starts on Friday, this past Friday. But I wanted to ask you, and I asked Gomez as well, but are other venues outside of the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas in the running for the rematch, if and when it happens?
I think it's similar to the first time around. I think the Cowboy Stadium, if you can imagine 100, imagine what it was, 22,000 at T-Mobile. Imagine 100,000 people in Dallas, and arguably Dallas would be more of Canelo territory than Las Vegas was. But Gennady doesn't care where. For this first fight, he said, just give me a ring and give me Canelo, and it doesn't matter where it is. But I know Madison Square Garden's interested.
Right. I was going to ask about New York.
So New York's definitely interested.
Could Yankee Stadium be a possible venue?
We'd have to really do some exploring there.
Yeah.
I mean, financially, it's hard to beat Vegas because it was over 15,000 people also in the closed circuit.
I know.
So, when you have that whole, it's just like a big fight weekend, or fight week. So there were people that came to Superfly and stayed all week and then went to Vegas, like from the UK, Australia. There was a few people that did that, and those were two of the best boxing shows, I thought, of the year.
No, that was an excellent back-to-back, and this has been a banner year for boxing.
So we got to give the fans what they want. We're working on the rematch. I did meet with Eric on Friday, and Triple G, he hears the people say, we want you to beat him again, and we're just trying to do it for the fans. He said it's bad for the sport of boxing. It's just unfortunate when you have. I mean, this was really like the Super Bowl of boxing.
Yeah.
And then if you have, if the Patriots lose by a touchdown, but they win the Super Bowl, it just is a black mark on football.
Now, boxing got it right up until the scores were announced. I thought the promoters did their job perfectly, and the fighters did their job.
Yeah, where we,
both guys showed up and showed why they're special, and then, the officials showed why they're not so special.
This guy says the main man, Tom Loeffler, the people's promoter. Keep doing your thing with young talent. Yeah.
Can we closed circuit? Does that count towards the pay-per-view buys, or is that
no,
separate revenue source?
That's completely separate.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. Gallardi, they did the closed circuit for this event. They said they had a very successful run on this as well. So, there were a lot of revenue streams, sponsorships. You saw that with the ring was like a NASCAR ring. It was, we had a lot of sponsors. That's the thing where I was saying before the fight. Look, it's not only two of the best guys in the middleweight division. It's two of the best pound-for-pound boxers and two of the most marketable boxers. So you see when you have the two fan bases coming together. Canelo's sponsored by Under Armour, Gennady sponsored by Jordan, and Canelo's sponsored by Hennessy, Gennady's sponsored by Chivas, they're both sponsored by Tecate, Gennady has his own Hublot watch. I mean, when you combine those forces, it really turned out to be a great international.
Yeah, now I have to imagine that Golovkin's stature in the sport is bigger than ever. If a rematch can't be made, it seems to me that he's got his pick of other opponents from the 160-pound division and the 168-pound division. Canelo aside, who's the most viable or marketable opponent out there for Golovkin?
There's a few guys out there. Saunders is always in the running as long as he's going to have a WBO title.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Belts matter, folks.
We tried so hard last year to make that fight. That's how the whole Brook fight came about, was because I was talking to Frank Warren about going to the UK fighting Saunders just to get the title. Couldn't. Saunders just didn't show interest last year.
And then Chris Eubank was in the running.
We couldn't make a deal with him. That was with Eddie Hearn. We couldn't get a deal with him, and then we did the Kell Brook fight. But so he'll be. I should say not necessarily Saunders, but the WBO champion will be in the running. Then you had Ramirez, who just had a nice win on Friday night.
Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, the WBO super middleweight.
68.
What'd you think of that fight with Jesse Hart?
I thought it was very competitive. I thought that was a great show.
That was.
Ramirez and then
Valdez,
against
Valdez.
Here's a UK fan. He says, Tom, we'd love to see Triple G fight back here and beat Saunders. And nice shoes, Tom.
These are my running shoes, actually.
If Saunders might bow out the day before the fight.
I don't know.
It's so unreliable.
It seems a little bit unpredictable.
Let me just tell you what I think that Bennett should do, the commissioner.
Bob Bennett.
I mean, not only did they, it was bad for the fight, but it's bad for Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And people who come there, it didn't feel right. And I'm a diehard fan, and I was like, I can't come back to Vegas for this crap. It's a tough place to be.
The MGM people actually apologized for the judging because they knew, they knew this could definitely, I have to say, I'm going to be negotiating with Eric, but if Gennady says he doesn't want to go back, then no one can blame him because he's never had a bad score like that. Anywhere he's fought, he's fought in California so many times, he's fought in Nevada so many times, so in New York so many times. Yeah. But I can't put it all on Nevada judges because I thought Kenny Bayless did a great job. I think Dave Moretti had it right, even though I had it 8-4, 7-5 was still fine. But Don Trollo was a neutral judge from Connecticut, and he had
kind of shady.
He messed it up.
I didn't understand that one.
But with Bayless though, the fight, it was such a clean fight.
It was, yeah.
They didn't give Bayless a lot to do.
They made it easy
for Bayless, yeah.
But what I was going to say about Bennett, what it should do is make a stand, and for the commission for Nevada and for boxing, and put her on permanent retirement. I mean, just show it. I mean,
I don't know. I actually I know Adelaide personally, and I've seen her at a lot of fights and a lot of conventions. I just don't know how she came up with that particular.
You got to take a stand on it. I think if you did, you would change the view a lot.
Yeah.
It'd give more confidence to people to go back to Vegas to watch another fight.
Because I was going to start his jump rope.
Tom's got to get going today, guys. But I have one suggestion for you and one question.
Okay.
The suggestion is.
I still have the training camp shirt on. Nice. By the way, Abel made these.
So this event was called Supremacy, and it was a great event.
Yeah.
I don't know if Golden Boy will go for this, Doug, but I think the next event, the posters should read "Beat Him Again."
Yeah. That's not going to get clear.
I'll make that suggestion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a great idea. But I was going to say, Abel was incredible in the corner.
He did a good job.
He's awesome.
Wow. I mean, just
not only did Gennady go forward the whole time, he was very effective with the jab. He was using different angles. He threw some great uppercuts, threw some punches around the side of Canel's gloves, and he was really pressing the action.
It's like he doesn't get credit unless he drops guys or knocks them down.
Yeah.
It's kind of like he has that reputation for a puncher, which is well earned, but he's so much more than a puncher. And I don't like this trend in boxing where it's like the person coming forward, making the fight, and it's also landing quality punches.
Effective aggression.
Right,
he wasn't just walking in and Canelo was hitting.
He was landing punches, and they were hard. They were quality punches. But I think when a fighter has is labeled the puncher or the pressure fighter, he doesn't get credit if he doesn't stop the guy, or if he doesn't knock their eyeballs out of their socket. Yeah. If the other guy's just moving side to side but isn't landing a lot of punches, far too often I see that person winning the rounds among fans, among media, but most importantly and sadly, the official judges aren't giving the person who's the effective aggressor the credit he deserves.
Trust me, Canelo wouldn't have been against the ropes for 12 rounds if Gennady wasn't going forward.
Right.
I've never seen him against the ropes like that. I mean, occasionally he was, like when he knocked out Kirkland, and he likes fighting off the ropes, but he was like plastered on the ropes. So.
Yeah, and he wasn't as offensive against the ropes against Golovkin. He was just on the defense.
He was trying not to get knocked out.
So
but we're definitely going to try to make the rematch. That's the fight that everyone wants. That's the fight really that I think the sport of boxing deserves, and so we need to resolve that controversy from the first.
There is a line on that Stations Casinos opened Gennady -180 in the rematch, so a little higher favorite, understandably.
So that means they thought that he wanted. The casinos also thought that they wanted.
Yeah, they wanted Gennady to win.
So I hope the fight's in Dallas, Tom.
Well, we'll see. We'll have to put the whole thing together and just all the financial streams. I mean, Jared Jones, you get him behind it, and with his influence with the NFL and just that whole marketing franchise he has with the Cowboys in Dallas, I think that adds a whole different dimension. to the promotion, but the Garden I know is interested, and Vegas, of course, you know, with the reaction. Not only did they have a great event, but we saw how packed the restaurants were all weekend. You know, like I said, 9,000 people at the weigh-in. I mean, they were selling a lot of merchandise, a lot of food and drinks.
You got people
Those
going
fans
crazy
were lined
here.
up at like 6 and 7.
6 in the morning they were there.
Yeah.
Let me
Fans
ask you,
were
is
way
the
in.
big money in the venue revenue or pay-per-view? Which
In this particular fight, it's I mean, we set the record for the non-Mayweather fight. Floyd holds the record for the Pacquiao fight and the McGregor fight, but then this was the third highest gate. So the gate was extremely high, but in this model, the pay-per-view would generate more.
So going forward, if you did have it in Dallas, you didn't get quite the same amount of money.
Yeah, there's gives and takes. Yeah, I mean, if you can expose it to more NFL fans or more sports fans going to Dallas, you can make the argument that you might generate some additional revenues. We had you know, the Hurricanes in Houston and in Florida, which, by the way, I agreed with Eric and Oscar to make a donation. We said that at the press conference, donation to both Houston and to Florida for their earthquake relief funds as part of the proceeds of the promotion. But I think those those are very strong boxing markets, and that probably hurt some of the pay-per-view.
But I think going forward, that you guys are in the boxing business, it's going to be better for boxing going in the future if you have it in Dallas. You're going to get more fans, more casual fans.
I don't disagree, Dave. I was there at Wembley Stadium when Vladimir fought Anthony Joshua. You have 90,000 people at Wembley Stadium. That was a great atmosphere. If you can imagine 100,000 people in Dallas, it's a great atmosphere. So we just got to, you know, sit down with Eric and go over the different offers.
I don't think it's exactly how much money you take in on this fight is looking at the future, the overall, and the difference isn't going to be that great anyway.
I agree.
And I think you know, I just to show Vegas, I wouldn't have it there. I mean, that was an insult. It really was.
Well, this fight was so good, I could even see it 3 times. So I don't know going to Vegas 3 times if that makes sense. But you could switch off. You can go to Vegas, Dallas, and then, you know, maybe back to Vegas.
I'm sorry, guys, I can't keep up with all the Triple G fans are going crazy on here. One guy says, please, in May, Cinco de Mayo, Dallas. Another guy says, no, LA. And the third guy says, no, I want it in New York City. So.
Well, Dodger Stadium was interested in this time around also. So, you know, now that we have some time, if the fight does happen in May, you know, we can definitely reach out and see who can make the best offer. You know, sometimes people want to hold an event, you know, not necessarily, you know, for a financial benefit, but for, you know, imagine this type of event coming to Dallas. It would be a huge boom for that whole city, for that stadium. So I think we got to wrap up.
Yep, Tom's got to get going.
Rope, and I need to go start.
Tom, my question is, are you going to
nutrition.
Latvia? That's my question to you for Briedis and
for
Perez.
Briedis, that's going to be a great fight with Briedis and Perez. Right now, I'm working on the ticket to fly over there.
All right, thanks, Tom, for everything.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
We signing off? Is it?
Signing up. The one guy had